We've got a 4-time world champion joining the grid. Do we have 4 teams in the championship? There's certainly been convergence over the winter months and plenty to look forward to before the huge regulation change in 2026. Now is all about free practice. Let's get straight into it in FP1.
Well, that's one way of putting it. Welcome to a spin-off of the Challenge Series, believe it or not. Challenge Series The World Tour on F1 2025. I'm not the one playing, though.
This is going to be a good year. We're going to have a great time together.
Damn it, Mark.
The team are brand new, so I've set everything up from
Yeah,
scratch.
thanks. Yeah, hey, somebody tell this guy to shut up, please.
We're not
Can we work on
just
that?
on the grid to make up the numbers, all right?
Yeah, I mean, he's a little excitable. He's not quite the same Jeff we used to have in the TATF1 days, that's for sure.
Absolutely not.
Not then again, those days we were the ones on the track, but yeah, no, we're not on the track this time. We are co-owning a team. And we just have Derek De La Cruz and JJ West in the cars. We're getting too old for that shit.
Yeah, no. I didn't want to do that again. I had my fair share. Race engineer for me is all I need, so we'll take it. So we see, we'll go through the grid momentarily, probably as we're doing qualifying lap or practice lap. Sorry, or I'm doing a practice lap in whatever. Right now we're looking at Mr. Mark Wilde getting his opening laps in the Visa Cash RB.
I just call them V-Carb. I don't have time for
Yeah,
that full
yeah, you could.
alphabet soup-ass team name.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm gonna get Derek out here ready to go. Let you do your thing.
So,
Okay, me
in a weird hybrid of...
made some changes to the way that ERS works.
I'm just gonna talk over your ass, Mark. I don't care.
From in the race now.
In a bit of a hybrid of Challenge Series and the America's Tour of old,
I'll check back.
we do have every individual driver on the F1 grid, and even the two that we've thrown into the grid, associated with other normal characters. Ignore my dog barking. We brought Max into the garage for FP1. I kind of regret it. He doesn't know when to shut up, and he's hearing 22 super loud engines in the background, and his anxiety is probably revving higher than the Mercedes engine in this car right now, so... Yeah, I'm talking about you! But as for our roster of maniacs, we've got Shane Van Gisbergen and Connor Zilich on Red Bull, because apparently we just managed to convince a pair of IRL NASCAR drivers to follow us here. Still not sure how that happened. Thrasher occupies the number one seat on McLaren, and his teammate Sebastian Orleans, who recently vacated the main challenge series, but now follows us here. Or maybe we followed him here, depends on how you look at it. The Mercedes team is comprised of Juan Santo, endurance racing legend, and Riza Lynn, or just Riza Stout. She prefers to be called by her nickname. Ferrari is a very wild pair of Eric Wojciechowski and Kurt Wilde. No, that wasn't actually an intentional pun. That's just the only way I could think to describe that pairing.
To open it, distance is on your MFD.
Williams is kind of our team's sort of technical partner in a sense. I guess that's one way you can look at it. I mean, we're not technically getting Mercedes engines, we're getting Williams engines, and Williams gets their engines from Mercedes, but they're modified differently from how the Works team does it. Keith Kilgore and Michael Mayfield make up the Williams roster. Aston Martin is comprised of Lynette Mulsanne, another endurance racer, and Taro Kateno. Haas has Nico Yazawa and Kotori Minami. Go figure, two of the most colorful characters literally just driving the gray and red car. Doesn't really fit their color scheme at all, but oh well. We saw Mark Wilde for VCarb, and his teammate is Barbara Page. Which I apparently just typed wrong, so that was a skill issue on my part. Alpine is the basically the NFR combo of Noir and Isabel Aspinall. Sauber is comprised of Logan and his driver Buck Angelos, and then we have our own team with Derek De La Cruz and JJ West.
Alright, Derek did the installation lap for us. Not too shabby. Decent pace on the hard tire. Obviously, we're going to be qualifying on the soft compound, so we'll have to see how that carries over, but not too shabby yet. JJ just got onto the racetrack. He's entering Sector 3 at the moment, just got into it, so yet to be seen what he's able to do with our 2025 Challenger, but car feels good, looks good, and I feel like we're going to have a pretty interesting season, all things considered. So what we're going to do here is we are going to go ahead and skip the rest of this practice nonsense, and we will gather back up with you guys as we head into qualifying here for the Australian GP. Alright, we're here for qualifying here in Australia. Practice rounded up pretty decently. JJ put down a pretty decent lap. Same thing for Derek. Derek wants to go out on the medium tire here just to give it a nice feel. So we're going to see how it handles. And we're going to go ahead and get that rocking and rolling.
Standing by.
Alright, Derek's getting ready to go here. Riker will probably do a walkthrough of the lap like we normally do as Derek completes it.
Oh god, I've not done a lap walkthrough in years. It's a medium braking zone to this 1-2 chicane. Very awkward first lap situation. Also, probably one of the worst pit lane exits in motorsports. Turn 3 hairpin. Not as important a traction zone as you'd think, considering you have turn 4 and 5 immediately afterward. Max continues to terrorize the paddock. Keep saying it that way. I don't know why. Other quick chicane that was changed in the just the layout of the circuit a few years ago. I don't remember when it was changed, but I just try to forget the previous layout of this track even exists. Speaking of chicanes, 10 and 11, another chicane, because this track is literally 60% chicanes. What I call the second best passing zone on the track, right here down last heavy braking zone of the lap. I mean, I guess this one here is kind of heavy, but there's no way you're getting a pass done here. The road's too narrow, and the way you come out of the third to last turn is too awkward. And then mind your rear grip as you come out of the last turn and floor it to the line. And floor it, he fucking did. God damn.
Okay, alright.
Annette Mulsanne.
Oh, that's unnecessary wing damage. Appreciate that. Alright, well, we're definitely going to be doing another run there. I mean, on a medium tire to go P4 is pretty fantastic for Derek, just ahead of his teammate JJ West. So we're going to get this damage fixed. And I'll meet you guys when we go back out for lap number 2 towards the end of the session. Here we are for the penultimate lap. Getting ready to start the last one.
This is the ultimate one. Penultimate is second to last.
You know what I meant, brother.
Push down into P14.
Derek De La Cruz is going to send it off into turn 1 on the faster compound tire now. One with the most grip. About a 10th up so far here in Sector 1. We got the wing damage fixed. I was not the happiest guy about that, but you know what? Things happen.
I don't think you can really blame Mulsanne for that either. They were just out of the pits. I mean, they had probably no idea that Derek was even there when they drove onto the track initially because, well, you close in pretty quickly when you're doing like 210 and the cars in the pits is doing maybe 110.
About 4 tenths up going through that middle sector. Pretty good corner there for Derek. Probably looking to maximize these last 2 corners a little bit more. Gonna get a little sideways, but he's gonna be 8 tenths up across the line. That's gonna be P4 for Mr. Derek De La Cruz on debut for Southern Speedco F1.
Making this thing look like an actual Mercedes. Look, probably he probably out-qualified at least one of the Mercedes in doing so.
As we get a look here at the starting grid, how about it? The Ferrari of Kurt Wild on pole, Connor Zilic P2, Thrasher P3, Derek De La Cruz P4, Seb Orleans P5, and Eric Gwazdowski rounds out the top 6. Lynette Mulsanne P7, P8 goes to the first Mercedes on the grid of you say that.
Liza.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm gonna let you take that one. The Williams duo 9th and 10th for Keith Kilgore and Michael Mayfield, and 11th on back. You see them at the bottom of your screen. Not the day that SVG wanted here in qualifying. JJ West also struggled. Same can be said for the other Mercedes piloted by Juan Santo. Not great there. Logan also down there.
I definitely expected a little more from Taro as well. Dead last, and it's not even close. He must have been held up or had a mistake in his final lap.
All right, well, we are going to send it off here into the grid for the race, so we will see you then. Alrighty. It's going to be a hard to medium strategy for us, honestly. Part of me was debating medium to hard, but I think we will be just fine on the invert. We're not going to overfuel the car that much. I feel like we don't really need it, but Derek's ready to go. He's excited. Riker and I are both excited. Most of my focus is going to be on the race engineer here, but I will chime in every once in a while.
To start, looks like DDLC will be holding position. It's going to be the Red Bull. Connor Zilic will pick Kurt Wild off the grid, and Thrasher's just trying to stick with them. Derek is not allowing him to do that, sending it down the inside, and Thrasher might be waving his hand in the air for that one a little bit, but not very much he can do about it. That'll buff out.
Not the most ideal start for Derek, but he's alive.
He got a spot, but he also probably just wiped some of the rubber off his tire.
Third year, not doing great.
Now I'll put some grass on that tire. Derek, I hate to tell you, I don't think natural remedies will help with a tire rub.
Maybe the car just needed to be grounded, man. Okay?
Return to the earth.
One lap complete. He's going to be back under fire from Thrasher here, who I would have to imagine probably not the happiest in the world. He's going to try to fight Derek into turns 1 and 2. Derek's going to be able to defend. Connor Zilic, though, leads here early on.
You know, he's on the mediums, that's how they got Kurt. He's started on the softer tire. Mosen has been claimed by Sebastian Orleans, who's moved to 5th on the leaderboard. Unfortunately, I mean, my dumbass, I only left myself a leaderboard that shows me the cars immediately around Derek De La Cruz. Really should have thought about that better.
Derek's not really doing that bad. I mean, he's not staying close enough to the Ferraris where I think we'll really have a shot at winning. Obviously, while we want to run good, I don't think our expectations are to win any of these opening GPs. But still, so far, so good, competing with the big boys.
And I think consistent victories is something we can... I think we could hope for maybe a surprise win, maybe after summer break. But I think consistent victories are going to be a thing that doesn't come until the next year. We could do a lot at SSCF1, but we are still at the end of the day trying to keep up with world-class manufacturers, so...
Yeah, no. I can only do so much on the engineering front. I mean, Derek seems to be feeling really good so far. He's put a little bit of a gap back to Thrasher, and he's closing quickly on the Ferrari. DRS and the overtake is going to help that. Managing the understeer a lot better in the dirty air as well. So we learned that from the opening laps.
Actually looks more like it's been a little helped a bit. I think Zilich is backing Kurt Wild up towards De La Cruz at this moment. I don't really know how in the world Zilich isn't just driving away at the moment, considering he is on the softer tires, but...
Either way, DDLC within a second of our leader and half a second off of the back of Kurt Wild.
And this top group has just kind of escaped everybody else.
Oh. A bit of a smooch there for Derek. I think we'll be okay. We'll have to wait and see, though.
There's a bit of space between 5th place, which would be Orleans, and then you've got Eric with, I think, a train of... Oh boy.
Oh, Derek's gonna have to compromise himself there. Not a lot that he could have really done. Oh, somebody's off.
Zilich just shit himself, and the concertina effect resulted in Thrasher getting escorted off the racetrack. I want a replay on what just happened there.
So, taking a look at it here, obviously, when Derek had to go wide, it compromised the entry to the corner, trying to give as much room as he could still to Thrasher, who was coming by. Thrasher unable to get the rotation, and he's going to go off of the racetrack and have to stop and let almost that whole entire middle pack go through. I think everybody else spread out just enough to where it's not that bad, but he will fall out of the points, and that's going to not necessarily end, but that is a huge damper on the day for Thrasher.
All that because Zilich had absolutely zero nerve against Kurt Wild and literally jammed the brakes at a high-speed chicane.
Leaves the other McLaren now of Seb Orleans to fight Derek for the podium spot, as Derek's tires are still not doing great after all of that. I can't imagine how hot they are.
And they've rubbed up against the wall twice.
Zilich is going to be all over the back of Kurt Wild for the lead now. I was not expecting that big of a move to be made there in that corner specifically, considering the amount of passing zones that we have after that on the racetrack, but what do I know?
I think that was Kurt getting desperate. It is very Kurt Wild of him. And we might see the same desperation from Zilich, yeah.
Just going to be huge for Derek.
Kurt Wild off. basically just pinched his nose on the apex. There's nothing that Kurt Wild could do except crash into him from there. A bit of anger from Zilich in that regard. Even though Kurt Wild didn't really do anything wrong. It's not the smartest passing zone, but it's not like he's not allowed to use it.
As the gap really has now just become the top 4, as the other Ferrari has fallen off completely for Eric Wojciechowski.
Yeah, Eric. I think the accordion effect also pushed them back away. In the chaos of Thrasher leaving the track, I think everybody just kind of. I think the only person who didn't lose their rhythm there, if at least temporarily, was Kurt Wild, because he was the one making the overtake. Everybody else, their flow got completely cockeyed.
You know, Derek was not very happy over the radio, so can't wait to see that happen. But we're gonna get a repeat of it here, as Derek's unfortunately a little closer than I'd like him to be to it. This time, though, he's gonna run wide to try to avoid Zilich if he has to. Not gonna have to. He's gonna have DRS on Zilich, though. Is he gonna decide to use it? Decided to tease it.
Wanted to. Yeah, I think if Derek had a little more battery left, he could have probably gotten it right there.
Ugh. The car not doing great for Derek right now. Obviously the tires being used up as much as they have been. Plus wear, not doing great for him. He's actually going to get really loose there. He's going to hold on to it though somehow, miraculously. I thought for sure we were headed towards that inside wall.
And what I can ascertain from the way that Derek is driving, it's actually the car is really understeery. He's getting the oversteer he's getting because he's having to try and drive more aggressively to compensate for that. And then that's wearing the tires, making the car handle even worse, and it's just a vicious cycle. And all of that understeer is just coming from the fact that the top 4 has been under a blanket since we took the green. Zilich, you gotta be more decisive than that, or, God forbid, maybe try to pass somewhere fucking else.
Yeah, I feel like Derek's probably getting frustrated with that, because all that does is dirty up the air in both lanes to where Derek can't really adjust anything. So the understeer goes from being moderate to pretty damn severe for that corner. So we see more understeer from Derek there, but able to get the power down nonetheless. We approach halfway here in the first GP of the season. I would assume that the medium tires are probably going to do a lot better for him than these hard tires have, especially with the fuel load. Just a matter of how does he decide to play it here. I'm currently picking that up. I am the race engineer, so I'm looking at that as we speak, but I don't really know. Because I think if we pit too early, we're in traffic, but if we pit late, we're on the back end of this, so I'm not totally sure, but we are getting closer to these guys every lap, which is pretty big. Zilich thinks about doing it again, chooses not to.
Thank Christ. Was that going to be a lunge and a half? Nope. Wild brakes late enough and just hangs on to the exit.
Derek doing a great job of managing everything that he needs to keep the car clean. However, I feel as though he's probably getting frustrated. He hasn't said anything over the radio in a good minute. He's, I believe, quicker than at least the Red Bull, maybe the Ferrari, but nothing to do to get by them. Well, JJ has
Maybe
just kind of
better
been in solitaire. I was gonna finish it. Derek with another good run. Oh, Kurt's gonna block it. Zilich with another move. And these two are just not giving each other the time of day.
No, Kurt Wilde doesn't give anybody the time of day. Zilich might be new in the TAT CS umbrella, but he's gonna have to earn his shit.
I believe the pit window is now open for Derek. It's just a matter of what's everybody else do in front of him.
At this point, I think he just do opposite Ferrari. Obviously, I would be very surprised if Zilich doesn't go in this time. He's gonna probably want to just undercut and get as far away as humanly possible from this Ferrari that just blocked him and just cut him off at every step of the way. But we're on the same strategy as Kurt Wilde, so whatever Kurt Wilde does, we need to not do.
Oh, somebody's got an issue. It's one of the Ferraris. It's the one that's behind us. So it's Eric Klaszczewski with a problem. Oh, we got
on
a
the
move for the
outside,
lead.
Zilich desperate. He's trying to finally do something here. Wonder if it'll be a safety car for Eric's vehicle expiring.
Oh, there's contact with the leaders.
Oh my lord, what is going on over there? They're about to rub their frickin' almost said fenders. No, there are no fenders. It's an F1 car, Riker.
And what has this done for Derek De La Cruz in the moment? As he's able to pull in and undercut both of the leaders, but they have a problem with the left front.
You guys have one job! And that's probably just cost us any chance of winning the race. Right behind Barbara up there.
The good news is we beat one of the slower cars on the grid to stay ahead of, so dirty air at the moment, but significantly fresher tires than those in front of us, and I believe damage to at least one Ferrari.
I feel like they probably both got a bit of damage. I don't think that'll matter, though. You're going to end up back behind... I don't know how that's going to work, because I think when Eric's car expired, it expired on the exit of 10-11. That probably slowed the two that were with him way down.
Derek
That
cannot
was race
wait.
critical. Yeah, no. I mean, I think Barbara knows that, and Barbara has that self-preservation. She's like, yeah, I know you're not my problem. You just go ahead before one of us knocks a wheel off. Yeah, I'm not really sure how that's going to work. I don't know if maybe the Ferrari and Red Bulls.
Oh, they're going to be right there to the right. Derek's going to get past them. Not only Derek, but look who
wow.
else got by.
Oh wow, Sebastian jumps to second on track overall. Thrasher might be in the lead now, but he hasn't hit yet, and he's only just stolen it from the hands of Michael Mayfield. He's got a name, Mark.
So now all eyes really are on Derek De La Cruz as the Red Bull of Connor Zilich and the Ferrari of Kurt Wilde ran each other over effectively. So net P1 is Derek De La Cruz. And the fight for the lead just got a lot more interesting.
Now, yeah, the fight for the lead now is effectively going to be De La Cruz versus Sebastian Orleans. the squabbling of Kurt Wilde and Connor Zilic may have taken both of them out of contention.
Seb Orleans is going to try to take the lead from Derek. He's not going to lead that lap. Derek will. Derek's going to fight back on the outside. Orleans is going to try not to give him...
Jesus. That was nearly a fucking league ender right there. Seb literally moved under braking.
That's Derek doing a little bit of battery saving for me here. I've explained to him how critical us having the battery for these straightaways is going to be, and he's very aware now. He's going to throw it into overtake. The fight's going to be on behind him.
God.
Too wide through the chicane once again. Kurt Wilde and Seb Orleans this time. Look at the gap that's open for Derek De La Cruz.
Yeah, because once again, Kurt Wilde muscles his way through and basically just forces Orleans to either choose lifting or dying.
Derek once again going to turn the battery off for just a little bit. Here comes the Ferrari of Kurt Wilde looking to make the pass. Derek's going to close the
like
door.
An absolute scrub. Yeah.
Name of the game for Derek right now is battery conservation, and hoping that he can keep the Ferrari, McLaren, and Red Bull back there fighting each other to get a shot at him. So right now the Ferrari's going to have a shot, but Derek's going to turn overtake on. And here we are once again. I think if Derek's smart, he's going to cover the outside. He does exactly that. Here comes Kurt with a shot. He's going to back out. I think that's going to leave Derek pretty clear here for this heavy braking zone.
If you can just keep holding the outside at turn 1 and turn 10, basically every lap, there's not a whole lot anybody behind you can do unless they're ahead at the braking point. And even when they are, Derek's not braking them anyway.
Kurt's not even really going to get a shot at him here.
Rasher's, he's not for lack of trying. He's not really in contention, but it's not because of lack of pace. You run the fastest lap of the race back there.
Derek with some more battery saving. Gets the battery up just enough, I think, to be able to hold on here for another lap. He's going to let Kurt get a shot here, but Kurt's going to back out of it. He always does. Derek can keep him just enough back. That was a little wide there. If he can keep him just far enough back where he's able to hold on, or at least get them fighting. That is exactly what Derek needs. And that's exactly what I want to see back there.
That's being too patient. He's not taking the opportunities that are being left by Kurt Wilde's honestly almost like necessary attempts. He doesn't want to slow down and sit behind Derek when he's got a huge overspeed, but there's not many places he can ever take it.
We are 75% way through the GP here in Australia. A completely upside down flip of what the race was at the start. The rear's not too happy with Derek De La Cruz right now. Something we also haven't really looked at here, and I know that it hasn't really meant anything mainly because of the damage that was done to the Red Bull. The Red Bull is on hard tires.
And he's able to just kind of stick with the crew here because Derek is just defending like mad.
So there is a chance for the Red Bull to have a shot at this. The tires will get better. It will flip for them. It's just a matter of when.
That move for fifth. I think we just saw Ryza steal fifth away from, I think it would have been Milsan. I don't remember who was in fifth.
I believe it was. Just mark for a status on JJ here.
24.9 seconds.
So we don't really get a whole lot there on JJ.
I think that might mean that JJ recently. Oh, contact! Doesn't even work. Kurt Wild was close enough for that. And Derek again applied a squeeze, and Kurt Wild was not ready for it. You got a taste of his own bitter ass medicine.
That's a pretty spacious lap there for Derek. He charged up a good amount of the battery here. All the way up to 77% of a charge.
Oh yeah, it is Mulsanne fighting for fifth back there with Ryza. Wild's adapting, he's changing his strategies, he's trying new spots, but they just ain't working either. Yeah, I think the reason that they didn't give us an update on where JJ is position-wise is because I think he was actively fighting for a spot. Whether it's having just lost or having just gained.
You're Kurt Wild. You've got to be punching the air right now. You had a really good shot at this thing, and then you really just couldn't give it up. You fought Connor Zilic like a madman, and with 2.5 laps to go, you are in a terrible position.
He's in a. He should be in a good position. There really isn't much of a reason he hasn't found some way by. Unfortunately, it seems Kurt Wild seems incapable of finding that way by if it doesn't involve barging someone out of the way, or forcing them to make a choice whether they live or die, pretty much. Which is what you saw with Zilic earlier in the race. Zilic didn't like that, and I don't think he caused contact. I think he instigated contact with an aggressive move. A pair of aggressive moves, and that's what did bits of damage to both cars. Oh, he had a mistake back there or something.
So we begin the penultimate lap. The gap is just under a second between Derek De La Cruz and Kurt Wild, but that's going to open up as here comes Seb Orleans to fight Kurt Wild for the second spot. As Derek De La Cruz is almost in kind of...
Derek's gone. There's nothing now.
He's kind of just
Kurt made that mistake in the final sector, and he didn't get DRS. He was just over a second back at the trigger. He had to fend off Orleans. He did, but now he's 1.2 off of our guy. And he's going to have to keep contesting Orleans into every braking zone, because Orleans is going to have...
contest. Orleans is probably going to blow his doors off here.
What doors?
He might actually also lose the position of the Red Bull. He's going to maintain to the Red Bull, but Orleans will pass for the second spot as we head towards the final corners to get the white flag here on the Australian GP.
That was one hell of a middle sector for the moment that Orleans got that pass done. He definitely made up the difference. He was back there on our diffuser here. And Kurt Wild used all of his stuff up. Now his tires are gone, and I'm sure even Zilic's hards are going to be quicker now.
gonna have to leave the lane for Seb. But he's gonna get him with a squeeze on the exit.
My word. Seb immediately takes a completely new approach versus Kurt Wild's last 9 laps of trying.
Don't know if Derek has enough battery to really defend this, though.
Might be some either late braking or try to... If you can't stay ahead, I think he just might, though. Oh yeah, he's got the later braking there.
And the outside here, he does exactly that.
No effort from Sebastian, that's more than likely it.
I mean, Derek struggled in this last corner, so we'll have to see here. Struggles a little bit. I think we're going to have ourselves a shootout to the line, but Derek De La Cruz is going to win the Australian GP.
How in the hell?
Worked hard for that one. Congratulations. Well done.
Seb Orleans just short. Kurt Wild P3 as its driver of the day for Shane Van Gisbergen.
Damage limitation for him, effectively.
How about I did not expect us to win this GP. That's huge for us.
By all accounts, we probably shouldn't have. If Zilich and Wild didn't have their dick measuring contest, I don't think we would have.
As it falls right in our lap, despite a huge push at the end there from the second McLaren of Seb Orleans. So we get a nice look at the results here. Zilich does finish P4, P5 there for
Riza,
Emily.
6th for Mulsanne, 7th goes to the recovering Shane Van Gisbergen. Thrasher returns to 8th after his off-track excursion. No points scored for Juan Santo, though.
Yeah, both Williams, who started 9th and 10th, fall to 13th and 14th. Not great there. Logan with a pretty decent recovery drive from 15th up to 12th. I think the big story here, though...
Yeah, DNF for Eric. That's going to immediately just put him on the back foot. I also cannot but mention Noir snuck into points from 12th, although that's probably just the attrition of Eric, and then basically just a suffering Keith Kilgore throughout the majority of that race, but still.
JJ West struggled, started 17th, finishes 18th, but we take a look at the constructor standings. Obviously, driver standings are going to be as we finish, but McLaren still P2, obviously with the second place finish from Seb and the 8th place from Thrasher. That's going to benefit them. And then the 25 points from Derek De La Cruz, winning the ultimate opening for us. That's huge. I don't know how we got that. I literally just fell on our lap, but I'm ecstatic. Obviously, only 3 teams did not score points here. That would be Kick Sauber, Williams, and the V-Carb. I'm sure they will want to put a big charge into that as we head into Japan for the second round of this championship. But we will see you guys then, as Derek De La Cruz wins the opening round, and we have a scuffle with Connor Zilich and Kurt Wild to open up the World Tour.